Elisha raises a boy from the dead. Elisha was a prophet of God who walked from one place to another, teaching and preaching as he went. One day, as he was walking along a road, an elderly and wealthy woman saw him and called out, "Are you hungry?" "Yes," Elisha replied. "Then come to our house for a meal." The woman and her husband invited Elisha into their house and gave him a meal. "Thank you," said Elisha. "That was delicious." The woman spoke to her husband. "This man is a holy man of God. He travels all the time and passes by our house quite often." "Yes," replied her husband. "What are you thinking?" "Well," said the woman, "I think we should build an extra room onto our house with a bed, a table, a stool, and a candle. So when Elisha is passing by, he can stay and rest in his own room." "Good idea," her husband agreed. So that is what the couple did for Elisha. An extra room was built and furnished. Every time Elisha passed by on his travels, he could relax in his own room and sleep for the night. Elisha had a servant called Gehazi and called to him, "Gehazi, I want you to ask this kind woman if there is anything I can do for her." Gehazi went off to question the woman. "Elisha wants to know if there's anything he can do to help you," Gehazi said. "Well, that is very nice of him," the woman replied, "but I'm happy with everything I have." Gehazi returned to Elisha and reported, "She thanks you very much, but she says there's nothing she needs." Then Gehazi continued, "They don't have children. I think she would love to have a child of her own." "Please tell her to come to me," said Elisha. Off went Gehazi again to get the kind woman. By the time he had returned, God had told Elisha what to say. "In about 1 year from now," Elisha announced, "you will have a baby." The elderly woman could not believe her ears. She was old, and too old to have a baby. "I'll have what?" she exclaimed. Elisha smiled as he looked at her. He knew nothing was too hard for the God he loved and served. Sure enough, about a year later, the woman gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. The child brought such happiness to the woman and her husband. All their lives they had wanted a child of their own, and knew God had blessed them with a son. It was a miracle. The child grew into a boy and brought great happiness to his mother. Then one day something very sad happened. One morning the boy was out in the fields with his father's servants watching as they cut the wheat. It was very hot that day, so hot the boy started to feel dizzy. "My head! My head!" the boy shouted as he collapsed to the ground. The boy's father was close by. "Carry him to his mother," he told one of his workers. His mother held the boy and nursed him until noon. Then suddenly the boy died. She was shocked and heartbroken. The child she had so wanted was dead. But the kind woman refused to give up. She took her son's body into the room she had built onto her house for the prophet Elisha to stay and lay him on the bed. Then the woman got onto a donkey and set off to find Elisha. As she got close to Elisha's house, Elisha and his servant Gehazi saw her in the distance. "I see that kind woman is coming," said Elisha. "Run and see what she wants. Ask her if all is well." Gehazi ran to meet the woman. "Is all well?" he called. "Yes, all is well," she replied. She said this because she believed all would be well when God helped her. When she got to Elisha, she fell at his feet and held them tightly. She was so upset she couldn't speak. Gehazi didn't like to see his master being held like this. He grabbed the woman angrily and pulled her away. "Don't do that," Elisha ordered. "This woman is very upset. Usually God tells me what is going on, but this time he has not." The woman started to speak. "I always wanted a son," she wailed, "and the Lord gave me one. But now my son is no more. Now Elisha understood the problem. He held out his staff to Gehazi. Here, take this, he said. He told Gehazi to run ahead to the woman's house and lay the staff on the boy. Gehazi set off at once. Elisha followed after him, but was much slower than his servant. I'll travel with you, said the boy's mother. When Gehazi got to the boy, he did as instructed, but nothing happened. Disappointed, he went back along the road to find Elisha. The child is dead, he reported. Elisha continued on to the woman's house, went into the room and closed the door. He prayed and waited for God to tell him what to do. Soon God did just that. Elisha lay on top of the boy's cold, dead body. Miraculously, the boy's body began to warm up. Elisha did the same thing again. The second time, the boy opened his eyes, sat up, and then sneezed 7 times. Elisha called to Gehazi, Tell the boy's mother she can come in now. The woman came into the room and gasped. Here's your boy, said Elisha. He is alive again. She was full of joy. The woman fell at Elisha's feet again and bowed her head. She praised the one true God whose power had raised her son from the dead.